You know I gotta pick on people who act like they're revealing shit because they ain't. They're not telling you who the main players are. Oh, geopolitical party, the Lazarus group. And here I am like, that's cool, but you know, you guys gonna nut up and name these people? Because none of you do that. Why? Because no nuts. Because the second that Moon opens his mouth, there goes all of his subscribers. Moon's got a really shady looking avatar, by the way. He's got one eye covered up with a crescent moon. If you don't know that that's symbolism, then you haven't been watching Moon. See? Now, if you're exposing conspiracy, are you gonna use their symbols? People, he's got 1.8 million subs. Oh, sorry, 1.08 million subs, guys. Do you think they're letting him say everything you need to hear? Or do you think this is the normie approved version? 1984 tried to warn you. No, 1984 was mocking you. 1984 is called pre-programming. Yeah. So all this, oh, they tried to warn us. They were warning us. No, they had the script. They knew it before you did. So you're going to see these guys, oh, they're going to come out, oh, man, it was this fake fraud guy. I'm like, well, yeah, this fake. Didn't Devin Stack cover this? I don't think he called him a genius, though. See, now Devin was talking about this stuff. He's not over here. I don't like everything Devin says. I don't agree with everything Devin says. But he's got the nuts to say it like it is. When you come over here into Normie Land, there's nobody saying it. Now, I get it. Yeah, this does. It's a stepping stone. It does have its value, right? But how many people are going in circles, chasing their tail? It's the Bilderberg group. It's the blah 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 group. It's this group. It's that group. It's satanic people. Satanic people who are in the Bible that I can't even mention over here on this site, right? Which is why they don't mention it. So then how come they don't point you to something else where they can mention it? How come they don't have an alternative channel somewhere where they can talk about it? Because they're afraid of getting shut down? I don't know. Maybe. But why would you use symbols that the enemy is using then? Isn't that strange? Don't you guys think that's a little weird? So they'll give you little nuggets of truth in these videos. You'll get some truth. They'll put some truth in there, but then they're going to mix it with a whole bunch of bullshit, and they're never going to tell you who's really in charge of the show down here. They're not going to talk about the synagogue of Satan. They're not going to talk about, oh, they'll show you Soros, though, and Bill Gates. Do you guys see how the scam works over here? They don't give you all the information over here. Why? Well, in a way, I guess I kind of can't blame them, because if they do, what happens to their channel? All right. So I guess I can't be too pissed. Because this is what happens. Everybody runs away and the L goes like, oh wow, there's truth in this video. 147. Man, if I could get just a tenth of the people that watch all these normie bait channels to watch this one video. Could you imagine? They would fast track to the front of the line of all this stupid anti-SJW Anita Sarkeesian, they're ruining my Disney bullshit, and they'd cut straight to the front of the line and see who was doing it. They'd cut straight to the front of the line. Yes? And they would see who's doing this, wouldn't they? You guys know that, because you've been paying attention. Well, some of you anyway. Very few of you, it looks like. All the shit happened before. It happened before, it's happening again. They're not going to point you over to this stuff. They're not going to tell you how people are playing society. They're just going to be like, George Soros and the Bilderberg group, going circles, circles. Alex Jones, the frogs are gay. And nobody ever figures out the bigger con. Do you see how this shit works, people? I hope so. So yeah, I mean these channels, they got their purpose, I guess. I guess, right? But just don't get caught up and circling the drain over here talking about things that don't really lead to the main players and what's really going on in the world. Right? And if you try to tell people that this is a spiritual warfare, you need Jesus, it's like, oh, there they go, they're gone. It's not crazy enough that you've got all these billionaires trying to kill you and control society. Don't you think that's crazy? Does anybody remember Pinky and the Brain? What are we going to do today, Brain?
Try to take over the world, Pinky.
That shit sounds crazy. But that's what they're doing, aren't they? That's what they're doing. People will know just enough, right? They'll go just deep enough, like this right over here. Here's another normie video for you. We're going to expose the Masons. We're going to expose Freemasonry. 292,000 subscribers, 1.1 million views. Guys, are you dumb? You're not dumb, right? You know they're not going to let this out unless they want it out, and they're not going to tell you everything, are they? Are they going to tell you where this comes from? Are they going to tell you how the synagogue of Satan took over Masonry? Will they tell you about that? I don't think they'll tell you about that. You know who will tell you about that? I will. I'll tell you about that. I'm not being an ass here. I'm just being honest. I will grab you by your hand, kicking and screaming, and drag you to all of this information that goes deeper than this surface level bullshit that you're getting over here on YouTube. And yet I look over at my subs over here. This guy's going to talk all about this stuff. He's going to go way deeper than you ever gone. And I look at my subs, guys, over here. And I look at my viewership. And I look at my likes to dislikes. And then you got the Nazis who come in who think I'm just here to defend the synagogue of Satan, and they just want to join the Fourth Reich. It's like, look, man, you're getting used. You're getting played. All right? They're not all evil. Knock it off. See these people? These are normal people who do 9 to 5, just like you and I. They're not all the same, guys. And I'm tired of it, and I'm trying to expose it and stop people from becoming too extreme. So if you don't tell people the truth, they're going to fall for all sorts of shit. So that's the thing. A lot of these people didn't know the truth about the synagogue of Satan. This guy over here, he has no idea. No idea, which is why he hates all of them, because he woke up one day and nobody bothered to tell him the whole story, the total truth. And now he's just angry. Bugger off. You're making excuses. People become radicalized when the truth is suddenly dropped into their laps and it's mixed with a lie. I'm trying to expose these things and bring people the truth and get them away from normie land, where I'm sorry, they're just not going to tell you everything, guys. They're just not. All right? Yeah, this guy, I know how this feels. Whoops. I know how this guy feels. That was me. That's my grandfather. He's gone now. I don't know if he repented before he died. I hope so. I'll find out. I will find out. But I find it interesting, if you read this story here, how they fought his dad. His grandparents fought his dad to try to keep him from converting to Jesus. But at the end, everybody got saved. So it's a happy story, right? But this stuff happened to a lot of American kids. Their grandparents, their dad, they became Shriners, they became Masons, and they didn't talk about the stuff that was going on. And now we're finding out all these years later, what did these boomers do? No! Right, you can't get too mad at the boomers because they didn't have the information we have, right? But it is a little stupid that it got so far. But it did. And now I'm trying to get you guys to examine it, to really examine it, and to get away from all the surface level normie bait garbage, all right? So that's all for this video, guys. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.